Guys, welcome back to another video, and I am here in an undisclosed location in Somerset with my BMW 6 Series because I've come to meet someone who knows a thing or two about a manual BMW, and that is, of course, Mike Fernie.
Hello.
Mike, thank you so much for joining me on this video. I really appreciate it. I have basically come to show off my BMW 6 Series.
I love this generation of BMW, flat out, like 3 Series, 5 Series, 6 Series, but I really like this. I think it's really coming into its own, these. I think they've aged incredibly well.
I completely agree. They have started to come into their age, which is often the way with BMWs. When they come out, they're a bit controversial. A lot of people don't like them. And obviously the current one is the BMW M3 with the bucktooth grille. Even that, I'm somewhat coming around to. I'm not going to say fully.
I would say that I think they're good looking. They do benefit from a little chin down here. You can get a little like pointy chin spoiler. I drove an M6 on the channel about 3 years ago, I think, when we were looking for a V10 BMW, and it had a nice, I think it was a Japanese front chin on it, and it did make the front of the car look that bit better.
I do see what you're saying.
It's a bit like a bar soap.
Exactly, and it would just kind of finish that front end off. And I think if I was going to go down the route of customization and everything else, I would definitely do that. In fact, when I bought the car, and of course you guys know I bought from Taylor Hetherington, he actually gave me... Yeah, so that's the backstory.
Right, yeah.
Well,
tell me the story.
I will tell you the story. So basically, do you remember when the Auto Alex guys, they did the cheap caravan challenge, and Alex had the convertible Beetle, and Taylor had the Range Rover.
Range Rover, yeah.
So I messaged Taylor and I was like, I have to buy that Range Rover because it was Rimini red, and I always love L322s, and you can't find one in that colour. And after an embarrassing amount of messages pleading to buy his car, he said yes. So I bought it, filmed some videos with it.
I hope he gave you a very good deal.
It was a good deal. No, it was a good deal. But that then led to be honest, a bit of a friendship between me and Taylor. We were exchanging messages, and he was always asking how I was getting on. About 2 months after I bought that car, I was watching the V2 channel, and Alex did one of his car vertical things and used this car as an example of a car that has a good car vertical report. First thing I did, of course, was message Taylor, what is the story on that 6 Series? How much is it and can I buy it? And actually, the car was going to be a part of the Auto Alex V2 channel, and it was going to be V8 cars for less than £3,000.
So this was under 3 grand?
I actually paid £2,000 for this from Taylor.
Nice.
And he gave me a proper deal and a proper solid. But there was a caveat to that, was the car was running, but it had not been on the road since 2017. I was completely open to the fact that there was going to be a lot of work to be put into this car, which is what has happened. So we've done new springs, new parts of the rear suspension, we've done new battery, new tyres, work on the brakes, we've done a full service including spark plugs, oils, filters, literally everything we possibly needed to do to get it through its MOT.
And it's a 6.
Oh, it's a 6.4... It's a 645.
645. That means it's got a V8.
That is a V8, 4.4 litre V8, in fact. And when we looked at this a minute ago, you said that it had a very familiar smell.
It smells exactly like a good hard run of our M5, our V10 M5. So there must be, maybe it's the plastics that BMW used. Once they heat up, they have a smell.
Well, you could be right there, because also when those plastics heat up, they like to crack as well.
Yeah,
Fortunately, I've not had that issue with this so far.
Big old lump, isn't it?
It is a big old lump, and it is a lazy lump as well. So it is a lazy lump. But when you give it some, she picks up her skirt and she goes.
Because at this time, they had the S65 V8 as well. So this was like the sort of really like a GT engine compared to the sports engine.
Really like the way that you've explained that. Absolutely right, because there was one step above this before the M5, which was of course the 650, which I think was still a 4.4. People will shout at me in the comments if I've got that wrong, I'm sure. But
it's like people say, it's like, oh, get the, because I think they did a 550, right? And
they did.
That's supposed to be like, oh, just to get the cut price M5. It's like, it's not a cut price M5.
No, it's not.
It's like completely different.
Not even close. The only thing that brings this even marginally close to an M car is what's in the middle. And of course, that is the fact that it is, from factory, a 6-speed manual transmission. That is a very unusual thing, because when was the last time you saw an E63 6 Series that had a manual, not an auto?
Well, I feel like I might be about to break your heart.
No, go on, no, do tell me though, do tell me.
Someone came into this car park about 3 months ago and let me have a drive in a M6.
Oh, right. We're going.
Left-hand drive American factory manual.
Because they did manuals in America. They did do manuals.
Somehow he'd imported a manual M6
Oh my gosh. When you did, and this was the reason I wanted to come and see you, was your E61 M5 manual swap.
The best car we've ever had on the channel.
And I watched that, countless times. And the one thing that stuck with me was the fact that yes, you could get an E60 M5 manual in America,
correct,
but you couldn't get an E61. And that's what made yours so special, was the fact that it's an E61.
And that's why everything, like they just have car after car come in, getting the two rings, change to manual. And it's a controversial one because a lot of people like the SMG, and that's fine.
Some people say it suits the engine.
Yeah.
Chris
Taylor
Harris
says that.
Yeah, Taylor says that. Chris Harris says that. They do say, but there's something about a manual. And on that point, should we go for a drive?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I'm hearing a squeak, by the way.
Now, when I said that I've done all of this work to the car, well, I picked it up from North Devon, where my good friend Matt, who came with me to collect it from Taylor, he'd done all the work. He's my kind of master mechanic. We'd done pretty much everything we could possibly do in the timeline that we had because we wanted to get it to food and fuel. After I got it out on the road and after I got kind of down past Tiverton on the North Devon Link Road, I started to notice that squeak, so it definitely needs a wheel bearing.
It's not going to seize up on us.
No, it's fine. No, it's totally fine. Well, I promise.
It's cool being back in one of these interiors, though. I really like this generation of interior.
It still kind of works. And the other thing, not that it's working at the moment, but the iDrive system doesn't actually feel that dated to me.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. Like, they're okay. Have you got any BMWs in your collection at the moment?
I recently got rid of one. I had a 330D E46.
Oh, nice.
For a challenge.
Nice.
About a year ago. Great car.
Yeah.
Like kind of faultless.
Yes.
I totally understand why a 330D is kind of the car that does everything.
Was it the manual or the auto?
It was auto, which again for the daily was totally fine.
Absolutely
it was
fine.
A bit slightly juddery.
Was it high in the miles?
It was 250,000. Oh. It was a big boy.
Okay, so yeah,
which is why I bought it.
That's fine.
Literally why I bought it.
Also, the other thing is the reason that we have the windows down is because the air conditioning that doesn't work, and I can't even get onto the screen to change any of that anyway. So if any of you are worried, can hear the buffeting from the windows on the audio, I apologise, but I don't want to put Mike Fernie in a sweatbox.
So the thing is, the I don't want to keep bringing up the M's.
No, it's fine. You can. I'm over it now. It's okay.
I think the main takeaway from that was like, I think you look at the 6 Series and expect it to drive a certain way.
Yes.
And that M6, I must say, didn't. Well, like
it didn't.
No. Well, the M5 kind of drives the way it looks. So I'm interested to feel what this is like.
Okay,
I'm already liking the burble of the engine.
It's got. I haven't done. So I've very subtly put it into sport mode. So once we have an appropriate piece of road, I will give you a little bit more of that burble. It's not like ostentatious and it's not in your face.
No, it sounded quite American.
It does. It feels like it's a very sort of American sort of burble, especially on idle as well. So we're going to drop it into second, and we are just going to...
Oh, yeah!
It's not bad, is it?
That's faster than I thought it was going to be.
It's not bad, is it?
What horsepower is that?
330 is all. But it's the other thing as well is that I don't know if it's just because the car's old, but you have to sort of learn it. So for example there, blip the throttle on the downshifts, and it does, it pulls you back into your seat, but you have to learn it. The other thing you'll notice when hopefully you drive it, you do get the sense that this car was not supposed to have a manual gearbox. It's quite a long throw, you do have quite of a stretch with your arms, but after 50 miles, 100 miles or so, you start to learn it. And that's something that I think a lot of people that are driving E63 6 Series are missing with an auto, because it's just get in it and go.
Yeah, I must say, like, manual cars as well, they feel the same way. Like, the manual's there and it's been done by factory, but you're also sitting there being like, this should be a bit better than it is.
Yes. And the other thing as well is that, again, an automatic, you put it in D, you put your foot down, you're pretty much going to get the same performance. This, like, sometimes...
Torquey.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's not as quick as it was the last time I did that. And then it's like, right, I've got to actually, get the gear in this way or get the throttle, at that position to really get the best out of it. And that's something I really enjoy about
Well, I'm impressed with the footwork. Your little right foot's actually dabbing about the pedals there. Very nice.
Oh, the screen's just come on.
Fired up with a warning.
No.
Tire puncture?
No, it's fine. All the tires are
Oh,
fine.
yeah, sure.
I think it's because this originally had run flat. And it doesn't like the fact that it's got... Yeah. Would you like to have a drive?
I I would.
Would you?
I reckon there's a pub just up here.
Shall we pull into the pub?
Yeah,
That's
I think it's just around the corner.
No problem at all. While seeing as Mike has somehow magically fixed my iDrive system, I found a suitable place to pull over and we swapped seats to let him have a drive. Oh, here we go.
Oh, I like this.
Oh, do you?
I immediately like this.
Yes!
This car is faster than I thought it'd be. Because it's a V8 and it's not super revvy, you can be at 2,000 RPM and then just put your foot down.
And it's just got a little bit of that wave of torque.
Yeah, it's very American. It feels like an LS V8.
Yeah, I completely agree. It absolutely does. It feels like one of those faster Cadillacs. That's how I mean.
Yes, yeah.
It feels like one of those faster, a bit lazy, a bit comfortable. And obviously, as I say, it's a hot day, but when the windows are all rolled up and you're just cruising, it's very quiet.
So sorry, what work had you done? What have you
done
to it?
So well, actually quite a lot.
So it feels good.
Brake lines all throughout.
Sure.
New springs, work on the rear suspension. So that's probably the bits you're feeling. Brand new tyres, literally brand new.
Yeah.
And then obviously everything else was mostly to do with the engine. So spark plugs, oils, filters, everything else. It does need tracking. It definitely needs tracking, 100%. And it needs obviously a wheel bearing.
I remember that in our M5. You go for third and you sometimes end up in that like no man land. Just like, it's just like this bit, like solid. You're like, nope, that's not it.
Not quite right.
These will have been put up against 911s and just got trounced.
Yeah, they're a very different car.
But the second you put a manual in it, at least
it does
gets it a bit more towards a sports car.
The one thing that this has over 911 is that if you were to have children, they can have legs. Because there is there's some room in the back.
Yeah, because it's a 5 Series underneath.
It is. Yeah, exactly that. But what do you think then? You like it?
I really like it. And as you say, we're looking to do basically a $2,000 V8 challenge. So if one of these is going, it could really be a potential. The thing is, it's not Larry at all.
No.
But it is a much nicer car to drive than I thought it would be.
The other thing as well is that when you're in second gear and you're around 40 miles an hour, and it feels like the engine's primed, it feels like it's like haunched, it's ready to go. And when you just stamp on the throttle, it does throw you back into the seat. We did it a little bit up on that road. So we're pulling back up to the DriveTribe units, and you are quite smitten, if I dare say it.
Yeah. I could totally smoke about in one of these.
Could you?
I'd be interested to drive an auto after it.
Would you?
Just see, like, I imagine this is just a way better car, but it'd be interesting.
I've driven a few autos. They are quite snappy still, but there is an element of disengagement. And with that, we headed back to the DriveTribe headquarters to get Mike's final verdict on my BMW 645 manual. Right then, Mike, you've taken her for a drive. Winner?
Yeah, honestly, I really like it. I see these driving around and I think, oh, everyone says they're just a bit of a letdown. But I think the second you chime into the character of that engine and you drive it correctly, and the manual helps you do that, it's actually a really nice motor.
And you understand what I mean about as well, is that sometimes the car forgives you and it lets you have it. And sometimes the car does not forgive you, and you don't get the best out of it. And it's like, oh, and it encourages. It's a bit like a really difficult video game. You're not just winning every single level. It's gonna take some back from you, but when you do get it right, it feels good, doesn't it?
The thing is, I just also like slightly alternative cars.
Yes.
So like, I feel like people give the E65 series like a bit of birth now. Like people said it looked crap back in the day, but I think it's really come into its own. Well, I feel still people would look at this and be like, oh my God, I'd never drive one. But that then makes me really want it.
And not big, but you do enjoy a bit of an oddball car.
Exactly.
Like your personal car collection, it's not your stereotypical, E46. You know, you've got some interesting, quirky cars.
Well, basically, this is a perfect example.
It is a perfect example.
It's essentially a really, really mundane car, but I go for the fast one. That's kind of, and the Mondeo, the 620 Ti.
This is an interesting colour. Is that the standard colour?
Yes, that's standard colour.
Is it actually the standard? It's almost like a pearlescent.
So you can see the nerdy stickers on it that say Monogram Glaciers. That's the actual.
This is what Robin from Viking did. Was he was literally ranting about this car to me.
I daily it, so it's quite dirty. But if you just catch the light
it's got
on
a purple.
It's like sparkly.
Yeah,
white.
It's got like a purpley tinge to it.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
But I'll be cleaning it up for Pride of Longbridge on Saturday.
Of course, which is this weekend for you, isn't it?
Exactly.
So you asked me a question about how long I'm keeping mine for.
Yes.
And there is something that not many people know, and this is going to be a bit of an exclusive. So this car, once I've got the few bits sorted out, wheel bearings and other bits and bobs, it's going to go through a BMW specialist. After that's done, this car is going to be available on a competition with feel-good competitions. So if you like the look of this car, you have the chance of winning this for just £1. So that will be going live at some point in the next few weeks. Obviously, I need to get a few things sorted on it. And then, as I say, feel-good competitions, £1, this car could be yours.
Before someone wins it,
Yes.
can I modify the car?
What do you want to do to it?
This could either add value or devalue.
Oh,
I don't
hang
find
on.
I can get.
I don't know why that locked itself. Sorry, it just likes to just do that.
These are
Oh,
unicorn.
okay.
You do not find these.
What is this?
These are not DriveTribe stickers, DriveTribe vinyls.
No! Oh, yes.
Decals.
100%, 1000%.
I'm thinking one either side.
Yes,
Like that.
definitely.
You can't get these in the shops.
No.
These are rare. So I reckon you do that one, I'll do that one.
Nice, thank you very much.
Either no one will want to have this car now, or...
Oh, this is, I just think everyone's going to
Now
want
be
it.
careful, these take a lot of rubbing. But you cannot rub it enough.
Okay, right, okay, fine.
We want to get it warm,
I'm going to
tacky.
watch how you do yours first, Mike.
yeah.
I don't want to screw this up.
I don't have a lot of patience, so I struggle with these, but for you, we'll make it happen.
All right, buddy, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I might just bid for it.
You might just bid for it. Just buy a couple.
If it's a quid. Lovely.
Oh, yes.
Alright, oh, I've rubbed this quite nice.
You've really, your rubbing skills, Mike, they are up there.
This might be the best one I've ever done.
Really?
Oh, we're flying now.
Oh, yes.
We're absolutely flying.
Oh. Let's do it.
Absolutely beautiful.
And the last bit. Yes! That was so satisfying to watch.
Genuinely quite proud of
Like, that is so satisfying to watch. Now, Mike has given me 2. But as I said, this car is going to be won by one of you in a competition, feel-good competitions, from my very good friend, Joe Betty, Shifting Metal. Go and check it out if you haven't seen it. So I'm not going to put the other one on. I'm going to keep that for me because one's enough. One's enough for whoever wins this car, which might even be you because you said you want to buy a ticket or 2.
As it's being overtaken by all the V10 Beamers, they'll see that.
They'll go, and that gives, then I'm pretty, that basically says M now to me.
Good.
That's made this an M6 pretty much. The other thing I will say before I let you go, which I just think is the funniest thing in the world, is the fact that the entire drive from Devon up to here today, the screen, my iDrive system, was not working at all. So I could not get away from all of the bings and bongs and everything that was going on for tyre pressure and goodness knows what else. As soon as you got in the car, it blinked straight on.
It's because it knew. It was like, he's the manual swap guy.
He knows.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows his stuff. On that note,
yeah.
thank you so much, genuinely.
That's
I really appreciate that.
Cool.
Thank you so much for taking it for a spin.
No worries.
And as I say, feel good competitions, check it out, £1 a ticket.
So I've got to give a huge thank you to Mike for allowing me to come and show him my car and for taking it for a drive. I'm absolutely over the moon. But I need to give an even bigger thank you to someone else. But to do that, I need to take you guys back to 2017 when I was sat in the passenger seat of a BMW i8 driving past Stonehenge, which I actually filmed an Apache helicopter flying over Stonehenge. But soon after we came past Stonehenge, we pulled in at the Boscombe Downs services, and in the car park was a bright yellow Ferrari 488 Pista being driven by a guy called Nick Fox. Now at the time it was Nick Fox TV, but now Nick is the creative director of DriveTribe. So from all those years ago till now, Nick and I have stayed in touch and he has been the one to put all of this together. So Nick, thank you so much, buddy. And to all of you watching, we'll see you next time.
Well, I'm impressed with the footwork. Your little right foot's actually dabbing about the pedals there. Very nice.
That is, I don't know, I'm going to have a response for that. I'm just going to start blushing. Mike Fernie just complimented my footwork.
Well, that's much better than mine.